Hey everyone, and welcome back to Pop Off the Clock. I'm Brenda.
And I'm Yoseline. Thank you for joining us once again. Another week of pop culture.
Yeah.
Lots happening.
A doozy. I kept on my promise, guys. I read some court documents just for you all, which I did not mind doing, but we're going to get into some of the continuing beef between two stars of a movie that no one thought would be more interesting than the movie itself.
I know.
So we're going to get into all that. Plus, some rumors that have been online.
I know. It's like the little it couple, on or off, or is Meta trying to get in between their relationship? Also, Oscar nominations are out. We get to look over the top 5 categories, and we'll see if we agree or disagree. And I'm telling you, Amelia, out with Amelia.
Not agreeing at all. Aside from that, we do, as I mentioned, we are going to be going over, or actually no, we do have a recap for you guys as well. Yoseline over here has started watching Traitors. So
You had already seen it, right?
I had already seen it. We're both caught up to date. So we're going to go over also the recent episode. Not the one that came out the night before, but the one that came out last week, because it comes out the same day that we shoot. So, but before all that, Yos,
how was your week?
How was my week?
Yeah,
I was like, you had more of an
Okay, I'll start
week.
off. Yeah, you're right. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. I went out, had a weekend trip. I had I guess a 4-day weekend. A group of friends went to Fredericksburg to celebrate another friend's birthday. Chloe and I organized this little weekend for our dear friend, and I want to say that Chloe and I did such a great job that hire us to book your fun weekend, because
I'll hire you.
You're like, I'll hire you. And I think it was just a great, I don't know, I always say that Chloe and I should start a party business, and this just once again proved it. It was so cold, as you could see. I got sick the last day there. We call it, I guess there's like this wind that comes from like 3 different directions, but it was crisp right into my throat and my chest. Yes. And I don't think I'd go back in the winter necessarily, but I do want to go back to Fredericksburg because we try to look up like the German restaurants and all that stuff. We want to get a chance to go to it, because that's what happens when you go with like a large group of people. Too many opinions, too many people being split, a lot of little like local shops that can't seat 9 people quite quickly. So I think this just needs to be like a small little thing. And I mean, I had fun. Our Airbnb was pretty good. Like, it was decent. That's always a hit and miss with me, Airbnbs. I mean, there's things that could have been better, but I had a wonderful roommate. So it was fun.
Fredericksburg's nice. I did you all go to that brewery by any chance? Because they have German food there too.
So I know. So Chloe kept saying that she wanted to go to this German place that you kind of go underground. I don't know if it's the same one.
Yeah, there's a brewery, and I think it's called Allstead. Correct me if I'm wrong, but something like that. And they have an underground bar, but they have a restaurant. When I went, I tried like the sausage platter or something. It was interesting.
Oh, that's yum.
Yeah, and I was like, that's the most German I've ever done.
I will say, maybe this is controversial, but we did go to a karaoke lounge there, like the most popular one. I won't name it because it was great until they told us that they weren't going to play Spanish music when we were so just putting that out there.
Let me know which place
that is. So, and I'm like, you're in Texas, you're telling us we can't sing Selena? Like, what the heck?
That's a little much.
Yeah, that's a little much, but yeah, that was the only like, okay, awkward kind of thing. But the guys, best pretzel I've ever had in my life. I got it from a German bakery there.
Ooh.
It was so good. I don't remember the name of the place, but it was fresh out of the oven. I didn't eat it until way after, but it was still fresh. And yeah, I think I had been to Fredericksburg once, but it was such like a quick thing, not even like 4 hours there. And this was a whole weekend, and it was so cute, and it kind of reminded me how there's like all these little small pockets of good things.
Yeah.
And you, how was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty chill. Brenda stayed in this weekend. I don't know why I use myself in third person, but yeah, I stayed in this weekend. for the last few months, like with the holidays, I hadn't really had a chance to like buy stuff for myself. So I finally was able to buy a bunch of clothes. There was a bunch of sales everywhere, which I was like, okay, super awesome. I stocked up on clothing. I kind of finished up hanging some picture frames that I had been wanting to put up in my home. And what else did I do? I didn't really do anything. I read court documents, watched movies. I don't know. I had a pretty boring weekend, but it's not boring for me.
See, that was
I
me
love
a few
doing
weekends
that
ago,
stuff.
and let me tell you that that was like the best weekend.
Oh no,
Just
I
being in
loved
bed.
it so much. Like just being in pajamas. From Goodwill, I got this super awesome cable knit, like authentic cable knit sweater, 100% cotton. I have been living in that sweater for the last few days. It just feels so nice. I can't really wear it out because it's so like big, but that was like a really good find from Goodwill. You can find good stuff at thrift shops, which I've been trying to do a lot more of because I don't want to buy new things. I'd rather just have stuff that's already been used and I just redo it.
Okay, I can't say my opinion about that. I don't know what it is. Like, I tried it. I'm all for, like, reuse, reduce, recycle. But there's something about, like, I just get too into my head that someone, like, had it on their body. And what if they sweat? And I get it. You could wash it. You can. But then I think about how now their sweat has touched the inside of my washer. And then all my other clothes are going to touch the inside of my washer. It's weird.
I got a little bit weird so I got wine glasses from Goodwill because I was like, they were like $2-3, and I'm like, I'd rather like get it here than like probably spend more. But I was a little bit worried because I'm like, what if like something was done to the glasses? So I like dipped it in vinegar and soap and left it like for an hour, and I'm like, okay, I'm good
like
now.
Stuff like that, jewelry, like something that's like hard material that I could just clean, I'm okay with.
I'll never do shoes. Shoes is what I refuse to like do reuse because I don't like feet to begin. Well, I'm okay with. I'm not even gonna finish my sentence.
Yeah.
I just don't like that. Yeah. So I would never use shoes again, but clothes, it depends because before I would be kind of not thoughtful in like what I would buy. Now I'm like, if it has even like a strand out or pulled out, I don't even bother because I'm like, it's already in the process of being destroyed. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I was up to.
So no, that's like I feel. Do you have any big plans that we can expect for this weekend?
What am I gonna do this weekend? No, I don't have any plans. I'm a simple gal.
To rot in bed and just like build a charcuterie board.
I think you need like a weekend to recover from your cold.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're right.
But if you want to hang out, let me know because I'm free. So, but I do not mind staying home either.
You don't, but
I'm the
we'll
best
see.
company.
The weather's getting better. We had a really cold weather.
One thing I can say is I am so done with this weather. I used to like cold, and now I'm just like I can't stand sweaters. Like it's just like sweaters. So much. I'm just so over sweaters right now. I'm over it.
But what we're not over are the pop culture headlines that we are going over this week. Let's get started. We're going to go into the headlines that you want to know and then the top stories that you need to know. So I'm going to start off with you because I know you read the Variety article into Meghan and Harry.
Vanity Fair.
Vanity Fair.
Vanity Fair.
Vanity Fair did an article with or about them.
I actually have the exact title if you all want to look it up.
It's American Hustle.
It is called it's called Inside Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's Big Business Ambitions 5 years after their royal exit.
So is this
by Vanity Fair.
So is this article someone that sat down with them or just an observing?
Let me tell you. I feel like I wasted like an hour of my life. This article, like I'm all for journalism, and I've been in the position as a journalist where you have to go based off of sources who do not want to be named whatsoever, and you can't really be specific as to what they do because then it's already going to tell you what the answer is. So the way the article was written was very much going over the past 5 years since they left, going over their Spotify deals, his book, just how they became accustomed to the Montecito lifestyle and getting into that community. it was just written in the most bizarre way ever. Like, I did not understand what she was trying to tell me.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, like, there's little, like, scandals here and there, like the Spotify team where, like, she was great in the beginning, but then she would, when she was upset about something, she'd be really upset and, like, it's uncomfortable. Then some people were like, no, she's great. And then the Montecito people were like, oh, like, they jacked up the prices. They're so annoying. They don't want to be pictured, but then they want to be pictured. I'm not going to say that they don't like attention, but it was very much, like, continuing or perpetuating that narrative that, like, we've heard a million times. And it was just, in my opinion, not understandable. And you have to be understandable to the reader. Like, I did not get what the point of this article was, and it was genuinely frustrating me the entire time I was reading it.
Yeah. So it's not even like new information about them or like a new take?
No, I mean, I guess when it comes to the Spotify deal, they basically said that they really didn't know what to do with their platform. They were going over different ideas, but it was kind of a hit or miss. That the whole archetype premise was another person's idea, and that they just kind of ran with it. But they expected Megan to have this Rolodex of contacts that she could get to, but it was very hard to book people. Like, we've heard Taylor Swift, Beyonce, allegedly Megan Thee Stallion, but then Megan Thee Stallion's people were like, we never got a call about that. Aside from that, about how, like, when Spare came out, that Harry was still very much like, I still want to hear from my family, but then I feel like the journalist inserted herself so much into the story. Like, it felt just not biased, but it felt opinionated, which I don't really like opinionated pieces when you're trying to be objective. I just really was not a fan of the way it was put together. One of the big things that a lot of headlines caught on to was allegedly Megan was shopping around a post-Harry book, like what gauging interest in what that would be. Not about her previous divorce, but a post-Harry thing. But then people were like, oh no, like, that's definitely not something that she would come to us about. It's what we would come to her about. It was just such a confusing
Like, then why bring
article.
it up?
I don't know. It was just very, like, you just want clickbait.
Yeah.
It's a clickbait article.
Especially
Very hard to read. I had to read one sentence like 10 times because I didn't understand what she was trying to tell me. So, yeah, not really a fan of that.
Not a fan. Yeah, I didn't read it because I knew Brenda was reading it, so I just let her take this one on. And I'm still waiting for the new show, Megan, so you got a viewer right here on standby.
Yeah, but it's also like how she's trying to just, like, create I don't know. It was interesting, but also just kind of like you're just judging how they're handling it. But I think that was the whole point, was to judge how they spent the last 5 years in America post all of this. I don't know.
I don't think it's getting a lot of traction either, though.
I think I don't know. I don't
Like, nothing scandalous is coming out of.
Not anything big. Now, people are saying, like, they haven't reacted to it, but honestly, I wouldn't react to it either. It doesn't make any damn sense.
It doesn't. All right, but next story, we're happy to say that TikTok is still in full effect. Well, it was banned for a couple hours, kind of, but it fully came out after, it was quite before Trump took office. I guess he had personal communication with the TikTok owner saying that, hey, like, I'm going to work with you and you won't be, like, prosecuted or fined if you have the app up before I get into office. Well, even though he did sign an executive order immediately going into office to temporarily pause the ban on TikTok after access to the app was restored before he even took office, as I mentioned. But while companies like Argyle have willingly put the app back online, Apple and Google App Store still do not have it to restore. So if you deleted the app while it was down and it's back up, you cannot download the app.
Sorry, guys. That's why I'm like, why would you delete it? A lot of people, though, are commenting that the algorithm does feel a little bit different now that the app has been brought back. And people just kind of assume a lot of the backdoor dealings to get it back may have something to do with the algorithm. I can say for a fact that I felt like my algorithm was a little bit strange when it came back. But, yeah.
That is true. Actually, now that you think about it, I'm like, what?
Chew, we see you. We see you, Chew.
Yeah. That is so interesting. Mine's like missing Taylor Swift and like Blake stuff.
I will
Like
tell you,
Perez Hilton has not popped up on my feed, and it's like Perez.
I will tell you a little bit of a trick off camera because I feel like it's maybe controversial, but that should probably change how your algorithm back to it.
You need to tell me.
But you all can look that up if you're on TikTok.
And if you
there's
want
like
to
a bunch of videos about how people are saying that you need to do certain things to get your algorithm back to what it was. So
back on restart. So I'm just so upset by everything that I'm about to say. So we'll get into the Oscar nominations because we will be talking about Selena, but she is also making headlines because it's presumed that she is back in the studio. In a video posted on her Instagram, the singer teased that she's working on new music as she filmed herself in what appeared to be a home recording studio. The clip began with the camera facing Gomez as she wore a white tank top and a pair of black headphones. The star then picked up her phone and turned it to show a view in front of her, which included a desk, speakers, and large screen on the wall, ensuring she kept any details about what she's working on under wraps. Gomez placed a red heart emoji over the screen before switching the camera back to her self, raising her eyebrow and pulling an excited expression. Faint music could also be heard playing in the background of this clip.
I also saw like a brief headline before this saying that Benny might be working on her with it, which makes total sense because of a video you said you saw.
He posted a video where he's responding to a comment. The comment says, Benny, make music with our queen or push our queen to make more music. And it's like the same day because he walks into the room and she's like in headphones and wearing the same thing. And I'm like,
yeah.
I thought you weren't doing music.
Oh my God. Wasn't it like a month ago that you said, I actually want to just focus more on acting? Like, just don't say anything. This is like back to the whole, like, I'm going to be off Instagram, guys. Like, nobody's asking you these, or maybe they were asked that question, but I'm
all
just
the
like.
Selena-ators are like, yes, we are.
Yeah, I'm kind of whatever about that. I thought her last song was,
the single one? The I'm single now or something.
Oh, wait till you turn my light on. Wait till you turn your light on. Wait till you wait.
Is that the same song?
I have no idea. Oh no, she came out 2 songs around the same time. I was kind of like, mid.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. The one that kind of became.
She had a music video.
Yeah, with the guy, right?
Ooh, no, I don't remember.
So we're getting more information about this Bachelor big split. Okay, so this is what we know. On January 16, former Bachelor Matt James took to Instagram to unexpectedly announce his split from Rachel Kirkconnell with a very cryptic message. A mere 12 hours earlier, he had posted a video of himself splitting a pizza with her in London, which left fans with a huh, and now Rachel's sister Trinity is weighing in on clearing up the timeline. On January 17th, after a fan posted a TikTok discussing the breakup confusion, Trinity slid into the comments section to share some insight, what really went down. In response to another commenter who wrote, the old content from London makes sense if it was sponsored, but it feels like he could have edited her out. Trinity said they were still together when he was posting all that, just to give some perspective in the timeline of things. And more people have been been leaving comments saying like, oh, she was blindsided, and Rachel herself, is liking those.
So also the week of, so he posted that on a Thursday. On that Monday, they were seen in Tokyo because there was pictures of shared to Dumois of them in Tokyo. So I'm assuming, so they did confirm that they do content dumping once they're already back in the States, but I think it was like I read somewhere a 3-hour difference between the breakup and him posting that. I also heard that allegedly she had given him an ultimatum of an engagement by the end of 2024 or bust. Good for you, girls. Stand on your ground. Like, this man ain't gonna give you anything.
But I don't think maybe she did, but the whole, her liking the comments.
Being blind, no, absolutely. I think that he posted that out of anger after being broken up with. And it was probably like, okay, just more of a reason why we shouldn't be together if you're gonna be, being dramatic on social media.
Someone said that he posted the post about the breakup 3 hours after the breakup.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And then the fact that he tagged the location and then tagged her too. Like, you need to be
And then the caption was like red flags. I said that last week too.
She did.
Well, speaking of breakups, Gladiator star Paul Mescal was spotted in a popular North London restaurant, head in hands, as his American pop star girlfriend Gracie Adams sat across from Gracie
Abrams.
Abrams. Says call her Grace, and that threw me off. Abrams sat across from him in fits of tears before she storms out. While the Irish-born A-lister and That's So True singer were eating out of the trendy bakery Calm restaurant right before their night raveled, an onlooker told Mail Online that they were sat at a table opposite of each other. Paul had his head in his hands, and Gracie was just sat there crying. I don't think
Are we
together.
surprised? Are we? No, we actually. I think you assumed that they were going to be breaking up way sooner than they actually did. I'm not surprised. Paul Mescal's in love with Daisy Edgar Jones. Like, sorry. I think that's his big red flag, is that he cannot get over that woman. I really don't think she wants to be with him, and he's just obsessed with her. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't think anybody else is gonna.
I know, and
get
it's
that man's
just
heart.
kind of like.
I don't know. He kind of gives me a red flag now. Paul Mescal.
Well, he gave me one when he started dating Gracie. I don't think there's a big age gap, but I just think it was like weird.
I don't know. I just
find her a little bit more, even though she's like a nepo baby, but I just found her like, ooh, she's young, like she's brand new onto the scene.
Yeah.
And you're kind of latching on.
He just likes those indie pop girls.
Oh yeah.
He was engaged to Phoebe Bridgers.
Wait, that is so weird. The Taylor connection of that, I keep forgetting. Yikes. Well, some happy news for couples. Charlie XCX reportedly married her fiancé George Daniel in Slovakia last week.
I wish I was invited.
No pictures. There's not a lot of information on this. These are just reports so far.
Good for them. I know she's been saying in interviews during the whole Brat summer that she can't wait for her wedding. That's going to be so much fun, and I want to see pictures. Like, it looks like a good time.
It's in Slovakia. Is she?
I don't think so. I think they're just like, let's go to Slovakia.
It's giving Nosferatu. It's giving Nosferatu. Well, another pop star. Let's get to this. This is, I feel like this is epic. We have Addison Rae is a TikTok superstar. Now she's trying to reinvent herself as a pop superstar. She looked like a 1950s Hollywood pinup star as she posed in a sheer pink lace leopard for the February cover of Rolling Stone magazine. The beauty talked about to writer Brittany Spano as her rise from fame from TikTok to starring in movies and Thanksgiving.
Oh, she did a movie called Thanksgiving.
Okay, I'm like, what about Thanksgiving? And now making pop music. Turns out she had fun doing all of this. She tells audiences there's more to her than the good girl next door image.
I like Addison Rae. I do actually kind of, I don't know if I want to read this article, but the little snippets from there, she talks about, I mean, if you were on TikTok in the 2020s, you know her and Bryce Hall, I think his name was.
Oh, yeah.
They dated. She very much was like, oh, yeah, like, during that time, I think he cheated on me, but, like, he said he didn't, but regardless, we were both children and all these things. She also said, like, Charlie XCX is, like, her mentor and, like, a sister to her. And I just, like seeing this evolution of her. For a second, when the whole Rolling Stone thing came out, I thought she got interviewed by Britney Spears, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. But it's like a Britney S.
Yeah,
whatever.
Oh, did they put Britney S or what?
No, they put Britney something, but I read it so fast.
It is Sopranos.
I thought it said Britney Spears, and I'm like, that's actually so cool. But no, she wasn't interviewed by Britney Spears.
I think she is like a new generation, I think, of pop star.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I liked her two last songs.
Me too. Diet Pepsi and Aquamarine.
So it's interesting to see where she's going.
I like how she also said that she doesn't do cocaine, that she just has ADHD.
Oh, I think that's always been a rumor.
I know, but I'm like, okay.
And then her cover is just really cool.
I love it. I think that she is like the Britney of this like Gen Z TikTok generation. So love to see it.
Well, I do think this is the first time a cover has, in my eyes, has made headlines where it's like, remember when Rolling Stones used to have these epic covers where it'd be
Yeah.
like, oh my God, we need to get that on a poster?
Yeah.
I think this
This
is
was
like,
back to that
gave
kind
that
of,
same
Yeah,
feel.
exactly. It felt very like Britney, that one with the Teletubby. You remember that
yeah.
Teletubby Rolling Stone type
Yeah.
thing? It wasn't like similar set design, but it was.
Yeah.
It kind of gave me that.
It's super
Epic.
cute. Well, Brenda might have to speak on this one, but the first 3 episodes of Molly May Behind It All has launched on Amazon Prime. It launched on January 17th, and the remaining 3 episodes will not drop until the spring of 2025.
Yeah,
You said you watched?
it was good so far. It just kind of really goes into the after. Well, so originally they were making a docu-series about her and Tommy and their path to getting married, but obviously the whole breakup happened in the midst of them shooting, so the docu-series very much switched from them getting married to just like obviously the aftermath of their breakup. She does explain in the docu-series that the reason was because of Tommy's drinking. She just felt that she has like personal issues with alcohol because of her mother and just like issues at home when she was younger, so she was very much like, I don't want that similar thing in my life, especially with my child. So that was the reason for the breakup. You also see her as she's in the process of making Mabel, or what's her brand? Her new brand, which is like her own fashion line. You see her in the process of like launching that into like the public arena, but also like having to navigate all of these like headlines that are kind of overshadowing her release of this brand.
And that's exactly, like you say that, but I'm like, now the show is just a platform to him, for him to like have his character arc, like growth.
Yeah, and I'm assuming the next 3 episodes that are going to be released later on will have him more involved, because he's not really in these episodes. You just hear him like, you don't even hear him, you just hear her be like, I'm on the phone with Tommy, or like, Tommy just called me, and you don't actually hear their conversations. But it's interesting. I don't think I finished the 3rd episode, because I'm like, I get where this is going, and I'm not super like,
I'm not subscribing.
But yeah, I didn't realize that she really is like Britain's sweetheart, and I'm like, whoa, she's really relatable. Like, she's a very much a relatable queen, so I love to see it.
Honestly, I don't think I'm gonna watch it. I wanted to watch it, but after like, I'm like, it's just.
I watched it like Friday night. I was like, I'm gonna come home, drink some wine, watch Molly May, and then I was like, okay, I'm good. Let's move on.
Let's move on, as you just said. So the Grammys are still happening on February 2nd. As we reported last week, the effort for it is pivoting a little bit, that where they're bringing relief and awareness to the wildfires in California. Trevor Noah will remain as the host. So that's an interesting take, and it's something that I'm very excited to see.
He did well last time, didn't he? I feel like I didn't have an issue with him.
No, he's been doing it for like the last 5 years. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So how do you watch? It's going to be on CBS, guys. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, which means 7 p.m. Central Time. So you could stream it also on Paramount Plus.
I guess I need to get Paramount Plus, because that's where everything's coming out.
For reals. And then some podcasting news. We have Khloe Kardashian has launched her podcast, Khloe in Wonderland, which I don't like the name. It has launched exclusively on X. Scott Disick is her first guest, and she's actually talking about her divorce with Lamar Odom, and she kind of compares. It's not making that many headlines, but I think she addresses it very minimal. She just says that the divorce with Lamar was something harder and heavier for her to deal with than the cheating with Tristan. Yeah, Tristan. And I can see that. That was her husband. This guy's like.
But also, like, with the whole Lamar thing, it wasn't like she fell out of love with him. It was just him dealing with some
battling
dark
his
things.
own.
Yeah. It's like with Tristan, he cheated on her, so it's like.
You can get the ick.
Yeah, but like, you know, this person was going through like inner demons and stuff like that.
100%.
I still remember like obsessively watching them in their wedding episode.
And Khloe and Lamar.
Yeah.
He like loved her so much.
He did. He still loves her a lot.
Oh yeah.
I thought that she had him as a guest. I saw somewhere that they talked. Or
really?
I don't know. Maybe it was from like the podcast snippets or something. I don't know.
I mean, he should be on her podcast.
He should.
Why not? Now, some TV news. We have season 5 of You. So brace yourself for the final chapter of Joe Goldberg's bloody tale, because You season 5 is coming this spring to Netflix. All 10 episodes of the thriller's final season will premiere on April 27th, as revealed by Joe narrating a teaser that has been released.
I'm happy to see it because it's gone on far too long. But I love You. I love seeing Penn Badgley in like a leading role. I just love Penn Badgley. I was obsessed with the show. The first season. So if you've never seen You, the first season is so good. I probably saw it like 10 times.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with it.
Really? I can't watch it like that.
I'm weird. I can watch things
Season 1
multiple times.
is great. Season 1 is great. Season 2, I was just like, weird. But it got way better. No, I'm lying. Season 2 is the one with Jenna Ortega in it, right?
I think
Season
so.
3.
3 is when they like are married.
Okay, so season 2 is good too.
Yeah.
Actually, season 2 is really great.
Yes, season 3 is when they're married.
Season 3 is the one that starts really slow and then gets really good at the end.
Yeah.
And then season 4 for me, I never finished it.
It was just like, how is this guy still getting away with it?
No, for me, season 4 started off like, you're meeting all these characters because he's forced to move to Europe and he's now in this like elite group. And I'm kind of like, yeah, they kind of do deserve to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No, it's like, now I'm giving, like, I agree with Joe. Like, these people shouldn't
live.
Like, there should be consequences because they're horrible people. Where in the other ones, it made you question, like, you felt bad for him for what he's going through. But, like, it's like they're still victims.
Yeah. Like, Love was, like, equally as crazy as he was.
So there was that balance of you pulling. Where this, I'm just like, no, these are like Nepo babies that are just killing them. Like, you know, they're in trouble too.
I forgot what happened at the end of season 4, so I would need to refresh myself.
I think I watched 2 episodes.
Because I'm like, where are we leaving off to go into season 5? But thank God it's the last one, because I'm like, I'm done.
You're done.
I'm done with it.
Some good Hollywood news. Cameron Diaz is not looking to put a label on her Hollywood return. Well, the actress who just made her on-screen comeback with Netflix's Back in Action following a 10-year hiatus recently shared with Empire magazine if this means she is back for good. She kind of alluded that she's not back for rom-coms. Unfortunately.
That's okay. I feel like there's still a lot of great Cameron Diaz flicks you can watch back on.
You know what? Like, she gives me the same energy as kind of like Demi Moore when we were kind of looking back. It's like, these girls have been around for so long. Like,
it's just like a consistent actress that can do it all, kind of. I don't know. I think Cameron Diaz is just, I don't know. I think she's great. She can be a voice actor. She can be an actress.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe we see her in some like really serious thing, something a la Amelia Perez. But speaking of, I know. But speaking of rom-coms, I believe this is a rom-com. Kate Hudson is jumping on the streaming.
Dribbling back.
I might have to read
I got
this.
you.
Okay,
I got you, girl. I'll be the reader. Kate Hudson is dribbling onto the streaming bandwagon, the Oscar nominee's upcoming Netflix comedy Running Point from executive producers Mindy Kaling, Ike Barinholtz, David Stassen, will launch on Thursday, February 27th, The Long Line. When a scandal forces her brother to resign, Kate Hudson's character is appointed to the president of the Los Angeles Waves, a basketball franchise and her family business. Ambitious and often overlooked, Isla, I think that's her character's name, Isla, will have to prove to her skeptical brothers, the board, and the larger sporting community that she has the right choice for the job. This kind of reminds me, there was this show on Netflix that was in Spanish called Club de Cuervos, where it's like,
oh yeah, I love that.
Did you ever watch that?
I love that show.
I love it, like
it.
when it's like you see somebody like take over like a,
yeah, that kind of sounds like it.
But it's different because in Club de Cuervos, it was like the two siblings fighting over like who takes over, whereas this one, it's a female taking over a male-dominated industry. I think it's going to be interesting. Mindy Kaling's a great writer, especially on first seasons of shows. So I think that it'll be a good one.
Is it a show or a movie?
It's a show.
Oh my God, this whole time I thought it was going to be a movie.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be hopefully a mini-series.
Yeah, like Mindy Kaling is such a good, she's executive producer. She always works with these two guys, and I love their writing style. Yeah. I'm excited to see Kate Hudson back, which we haven't seen her in a while. I guess we saw her in, what is it, the Onion one? Glass
oh,
House?
yes, the Glass Onion or something.
Yeah,
like
Glass
that.
House, Onion, I don't know, whatever, that one. And she was good, and of course she's doing music now, but we love a good girly girl.
Kate Hudson, another good rom-com.
Something to look forward to. Another thing to look forward is for Lady Gaga's Little Monsters should be on standby because her website is set to reveal some pretty big information about her next album. TMZ has learned, a source close to the pop star tells TMZ that the countdown currently ticking away on her website is for a new album, and the title and release date will be announced when the counter runs out.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear new Lady Gaga music.
Are you a little monster?
I like Lady Gaga. I'm not a little monster, but I know people who are, and I appreciate it.
You know what? I never considered myself a little monster, but like I literally know like a lot of her songs.
She's great. I love how I love that she's not just like a singer, she's an artist. She brings like creativity to everything she does. So, love Lady Gaga.
I need to check where that that ticker is at.
But the rumor is that February 13th might be a tentative date. So, before Valentine's Day.
Huh. Do you think it's going to be like Happy Valentine's theme or like...
No, it's going to be like
tragic disease. Like,
whatever. I don't know.
Stalker status. Okay, and then to wrap up, we have Robert Eggers is sinking his teeth into his new horror project. He is re-teaming up with Focus Features in his new film, Werewolf, a werewolf horror feature that will be directed from a script he co-wrote. Variety is confirming the film is slated for Christmas Day 2026 release in North America. He is the director of Nosferatu, and I just wanted to throw that in there because we did go into
Yeah, I like him, and also aside from Werewolf, also Labyrinth. He's working on a reboot of Labyrinth, which I'm excited. I think he's on the projection. Because he's getting all of these
horror stuff.
Yeah, love to see it. I think that's it for the headlines. Now let's get into some topics.
Yes. You know which one we've been?
Yes.
I've been okay. Justin and Hailey confuse me, but I think they are meant to be together.
Oh, absolutely.
So it seems that Justin Bieber was the latest celebrity to get hacked on social media. This week, fans noticed that the pop star unfollowed his wife, Hailey Bieber, on Instagram, but Justin has set the record straight. Quote, "Someone went on my account and unfollowed my wife," he wrote in a now deleted Instagram story on Tuesday. S-word is getting sus out here, he said. Justin has since refollowed Hailey, whom he called the greatest woman I have and will ever know, on Instagram the following day.
I'm like, can people just leave them alone? Like, literally, they're just trying to live their lives, but I'm like, who goes on somebody's account just to unfollow? I mean, actually, that's kind of creative. To put all that energy just to make, like, headlines. I would be so annoyed. But, like, how did they gain access to your account?
The only thing I could think of is if someone in Meta has the power to do that, which there has to be someone.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think they even know who Justin and Hailey Bieber are. Because of, like, they're just
There's
like
always that one pop culture person in the office.
Do I believe there is someone that either worked for him or worked for him that knows one of his probably 3 passwords and uses, that they, I think so.
Like, if his password's like 1, 2, 3 or A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I mean, they were in Aspen. Like, they've been in Aspen for like the whole month. Kendall and Kylie joined them over there. But yeah, it's really, I don't know. This couple's gonna last for a long time, folks. So
They just had a baby. Get off his back.
yeah,
And her back too.
they're just trying, and I think it's so cute how much he loves her. Honestly, I think they're even in the pictures that he's posting a lot of pictures right now. A lot of them are kind of like not candids, but just from the perspective of somebody else, and they just look genuinely happy. So, you know what? More power to ya.
Okay, I want to throw this in because I don't know if it's true or not. A lot of girls have been putting on girls because that's who I've seen. People who bought tickets to Justin Bieber's tour in 2020, it's the one that he ended up canceling, are getting notifications saying that it's reactivated and like TBH, like to be announced.
Well, we mentioned last time that there's rumors that he's working on new music.
Yeah.
So maybe he's gonna go on tour. All right, I'm gonna bring out the laptop for the next one because we're gonna get into these Oscar nominations. Sorry?
Would you see him on tour?
Like I said, I think that he should do more of like not a residency type thing, but like I'm gonna be here and you all can come visit me if you want. Like Benito sold out his tour in Puerto Rico, so I think that Justin Bieber can sell out a residency in like LA super quickly.
So let's just go over the top 5 categories, maybe 6 if we want to throw in.
Yes. So first, today, Thursday,
we have
was the release of the nominations.
We have Emilia Perez, a musical about a drug kingpin,
Best Picture,
who undergoes gender-affirming surgery, is topping the 2025 Oscar nominations with 13 nods. It was followed closely behind by The Brutalist, a circle epic that examines the immigration experience, and Wicked, the hit screen version of a long-running Broadway sensation, which both nabbed 10 nominations. Now, let's start with these lovely categories. I'll let you start.
Yes, so we're going to start off with the one that everyone's on the lookout for, which is Best Picture. Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. Like I've said multiple times on this show, I still do not understand why Emilia Perez is being nominated, especially having the most nominations is absolutely wild to me. We saw the movie, so we can say it is not a good movie. Now I get it. I think they're trying to say it's more of like a political statement. I think at this point they're just trying to kind of be like, as it pertains to like some of the subject matter. I think that's why. But watch the movie. You be the judge yourself, and you tell me if it deserves all of these accolades. Because I will tell you, you would probably agree.
And
that it does not.
I hold space. I hold space for in 20 years. In 20 years, for this to be like, oh, this was just like ahead of its time.
Misunderstood.
But I don't see it. I don't see it. I really don't. Again, we watched it. Take out all the musical aspect and that storyline of a cartel.
Yes, good.
Great
unique.
Story. Even the ending, I love the ending, how the characters end up. I think it's very telling. But the musical part, like the bad acting from some people, it just could have been done better. Now,
there is one thing that the Academy got correct, and that was not nominating Selena Gomez. Okay, yeah, and also if I was John Chu, right, that's his name?
Yeah.
I would be so annoyed that Emilia Perez, a musical compared to Wicked, an already well-established musical that they reimagined for a movie and actually were being a musical within the movie. I would be so annoyed that this movie is getting so many nominations. I'd be like, this is ridiculous.
I would be so annoyed the fact that Ariana Grande started training opera singing before she even auditioned or got the position, and you're telling me Selena Gomez is like, I just had 3 months to prepare.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Okay, moving on. Best Actor in a Leading Role. We have Adrian Brody, The Brutalist, Timothée Chalamet. Oh, wait, who do you think is going to win for Best Picture?
Well, I hope with, like, if I had my pick, it'd be Wicked. I think The Substance should take it. I think that's a great movie. honestly, anyone but Amelia Perez.
I hope Amelia Perez does not win, but I think it's going to be going to The Brutalist, which I actually really hope it does.
Oh, yeah, that's another good
I
pick.
haven't seen the movie, but I really want to because I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I love Adrian Brody. I feel like he's such a great actor. And speaking of, as mentioned, he is nominated for leading actor, Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice.
Sebastian Stan. Wow, Sebastian Stan.
I know, good for him. He's
I
getting
do
a lot of
think
good
it's Adrian
nominations.
Brody.
Yeah, Adrian Brody's going to take it. All of these award shows already tell you who's going to take the award. Next is Best Actress in a Leading Role. We have Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon, right? Amelia Perez, Mikey Madison for Nora, Demi Moore for The Substance, and Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. I really believe Demi Moore is going to be getting it for The Substance.
Fernanda Torres is the one that won it.
In the Golden Globes?
For musical or...
It was probably for... Oh, okay.
The one that Demi wasn't in.
Okay.
So it would be up to... I think it's up to them,
between,
too. Demi
yeah,
and
between
Fernanda.
those two. Yeah, then we have Best Actor in a Supporting Role. We have Yura Borisov from Anora, Kieran Culkin, A Real Pain, Edward Norton, A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce, The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice.
I think Kieran Culkin.
Yes, I actually saw... Have you
sweeping.
seen A Real Pain? It's a really good movie. I saw it. It's on Hulu right now. He does so well of like being like a charismatic person who really is like only charismatic because they're kind of going through a lot. It was such a strange concept. It's about these two brothers that go to like somewhere in Germany where they have the Auschwitz like camps because they're Jewish and they want to go back to I don't know. It was just a really good movie. And it's worth the watch, guys. All right. Best Actress in a Supporting Role. We have Monica Barbero for A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. I think Zoe Saldana is going to get it. That's the only one I'm like, okay.
I would hope Ariana gets it. I think that would be just so epic, but I think Zoe's gonna get it.
Zoe's going
Her
to get it.
acting's not bad.
No, I think that she was, her and also,
Carla
Carla,
Sofia.
I think they were what carried the movie, and I can understand from those two standpoints how it's there. But the rest of the movie, absolutely not. Like I said, I'm thankful that Selena Gomez did not get nominated. I'm sorry, Selena, your performance just did not deserve an Oscar nomination, and I hope that you yourself realize that you didn't deserve an Oscar nomination. All right, for Best Director, we have Sean Baker for Nora, Brady Corbett for The Brutalist, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, Jacques Ardian for Amelia Perez, and Corley Fergiet for The Substance.
What is this?
This is the director.
Supporting. Oh, direct. First of all, justice for John
Chu.
Chu.
Yeah, I mean, he created
Like,
a
how can
masterpiece.
how can you get nominated for Best Picture? I guess I get it, but like, you should have nominated him.
I honestly think that The Brutalist is going to take a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like that's like the one where it's like
gonna be like the Oppenheimer.
justifiable type things. I'm really happy to see that Nosferatu was nominated for Best Cinematography because I feel like that was the one thing a lot of people took from the movie is like the number one comment I hear, it was visually just so awesome to see. I'm surprised that Wicked wasn't on cinematography.
That is so true.
Maria, Amelia Perez, Dune Part 2, and The Brutalist.
Wicked should have been over Amelia Perez. I'm also, Angelina Jolie did not get nominated for Best Actress.
I think those are kind of like the big things. Or usually
Best Song.
kind of, okay, yeah,
Best song, because usually the best song gets two.
Okay, let's go to Best Original Song. So, El Mal from Amelia Perez. I'm trying to remember what...
That's the one that won in the Golden Globe. It's the one that she sings. It's the one Zoe sings when they're doing the fundraiser.
Award. Okay, got you. The Journey from the 6888, Like a Bird from Sing Sing, Mi Camino, Amelia Perez, and Never Too Late.
I think Mi Camino is the one that Selena sings.
Yeah, I hope that one doesn't win. Yeah, it'll probably be an Amelia Perez one. And then I think Best Sound? No. I think, yeah, that's it for the best song type things. Yeah, very, very interesting nomination.
Yeah, it's the one that Selena sings that she, like...
Yeah, let's not let that one win. Yeah, so that is it in a nutshell. It was very interesting to see this list. I mean, before it was Conclave and like Anora that were really taking a lot of like, and The Substance that people were saying had the chance, but then all these other movies just kind of topped it. So we'll see what happens out of that.
Yeah. We're obviously going to watch, and we'll keep you guys updated.
We'll keep you posted on what the results are. All right, now to the other big headline of the literally last few months.
I forgot. Okay, guys, it's getting good. So Blake, you know how like during the summer it would always be Taylor Swift, like one of our top stories? It will continue to be Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Okay. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are hitting back at Lively's It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni after the actor's legal team released behind-the-scenes footage from the controversial film. In a letter to the judge, attorneys for the A-list couple accused Baldoni and his legal team of continuing their harassment and retaliatory media campaign against Lively with almost daily media statements or other releases to the press. According to court documents obtained by USA Today, the filing comes after Baldoni's attorney released behind-the-scenes footage on Tuesday of an intimate scene Baldoni and Lively performed in a romantic drama. In an emailed statement to USA Today on Tuesday, Lively's legal team blasted the footage released as a stunt by Baldoni's attorney that reinforces misleading media narratives. Now, they released these 3 takes of a scene that specifically is mentioned in Blake Lively's lawsuit.
CRD complaint.
In her original one where she claimed that he had gone to her
had smelled her and like said, I like the way
you smell so good. And you hear, and guys,
it's a hard watch, not gonna lie.
It is so cringe because there's 2 things. They're being actors, so they're very intimate.
Oh,
but
Blake Lively was acting? I thought Blake Lively was just being Blake Lively that entire time.
Yes, so then this is for a montage where no audio is going to be heard. So they're just talking about their day, which is so awkward.
Blake mentioned that there was no music playing. It was just them. There was nothing. Like, it was just them talking. Guys, there was music playing in the background.
And there was people there.
I'm so irritated by her because she wouldn't shut up. I'm sorry. She would not stop talking. He is the director. He is saying, I would prefer us not talking. Like, me and my wife, we don't talk. She's like, me and Ryan, we don't stop talking. Like, that's how, like, it's romantic. She is so infuriating. Yeah. I'm sorry. This court document made me absolutely.
And then we'll get into it because we'll get Brenda's take. She went through the court documents. This image, playing devil's advocate, even though you know what side I'm on, her supporters are being like, no, like, why are they talking about their personal life while he's just like all over him? Like, he's not in character, that he's taking advantage of that situation. But I'm just like, even at that, she's not like, oh, like, this is weird. It's part of the scene.
I feel like she was flirting with him the whole time.
God, me too.
I feel like she was flirting with him the whole time.
But I also think she flirts with everyone.
So when he is, first of all, she's like, they do this one thing where their noses are touching, and he's like, sorry, my nose. She's like, yeah, like, I've been meaning to tell you, you should get something done about that. Like, you can like take an insurance week off and like get that handled. Ha 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 ha. And then he's like kind of like caressing his head around her, and she said, sorry. No, he's like, sorry, I don't want to get beard on you. She's like, sorry if I get tanner on you. And he's like, oh, it smells good. And she's like, oh, that's my body. That's my body makeup.
She even says it probably smells like spray tan. And he's like, it smells good. And it wasn't like, it smells good. It was like, it smells good. Like,
yeah.
She's like, oh, that's probably my body makeup.
Tell me how that's. And then you can see that he is acting, because as soon as they say cut, he's like, all right, we're good with this. It's going to be a 17-minute clip, so we'll be cutting it from there. You see him acting. He is acting. And the fact that her team is like, that blatantly shows like what we've been saying this whole, is the blatantly shows in the room with us? Like, are we watching the same clip? Like, it is astounding to me how, and I get, honestly, this was very interesting in the sense that we report entertainment news, and it's interesting to see how people manipulate things and the little like tactics that PR people do. I think that was the most fascinating thing about this whole thing was it was a blatant takeover of Blake blatantly took over that film, and it is just so telling from like the beginning standpoint. Do you want me to get into it?
Yeah, what is your key takeaways?
My key takeaway is that Blake went into this project very much like, I'm going to take over and this is going to be my time to shine. Now, I want to point out some things because I feel like we really got to see the deep inner workings of Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Taylor Swift. Gonna throw that out there. Because it's just like, you get to see how these people mentally function, and it's pretty insane to me. I actually really want to read text messages directly from Blake Lively.
That Justin Baldoni's team has submitted.
Okay, this is... So in the process, they got Blake Lively onto this. Justin Baldoni had asked Colleen Hoover if he could take over the rights of the thing because he wanted to make it into a film. He had been working on it in 5 years. They wanted Blake Lively to star in it. It very much pointed out that Blake Lively never allegedly signed any formal agreement.
Oh, really?
Never signed anything, never sent anything over, and it was allegedly used as a tactic to hold over their heads whenever she didn't want to do anything. It was like, well, I can potentially be pulled out because I never had a formal agreement to do this film.
That is so ugly.
So you start to see slowly, in the beginning they were friends, like they were cool. She very much started with the whole wardrobe thing. She wanted to take over the wardrobe, being like, I think this would be a better idea, the whole beanie with the crop top, all that stuff. They thought it was unusual because when has an actress controlled the wardrobe, and it's things that are pre-planned and pre-thought out, so it's like kind of frustrating. And then it got into the point where the whole writer strike was happening. Ryan and Blake rewrote the whole rooftop scene. Now let me read you a text message from Blake to allegedly
This is after
Justin Baldoni.
they presented the rewrite to him?
I believe so. It's kind of like all over the place. Okay, as for, and they black out Taylor's name in a lot of these documents. As for Taylor and Ryan, and Taylor for that matter, I'm the luckiest MFer on the planet to have them as my quote-unquote dance moms level. Stage moms, they are embarrassingly effusive. That said, they are also most trusted partners and the people I go to with anything creative I touch, and I'm the person they each go to first. That reciprocal creativity and support has been one of my life's greatest and most fulfilling gifts. They love and sign off on the pages, and I felt good to send them to you. They asked what you thought specifically after. They checked in so many times. I told them that you laughed a bunch and said, it's probably a blend, but you appreciate my passion so much, which of course didn't feel great for me or them to have my passion be praised instead of any specific contribution, or even just that you didn't like the pages, which was fine also. So I think they wanted you and me to see how they felt about, okay, this was a text message after he had gone to their place and Taylor and Ryan were like, oh, you should look at these pages. So I think they want you and me to see how they felt about the work because they've been by my side far too many experiences where I've been overlooked. I spoke to you about this when we first met. They've watched me hand write scripts because the director is too afraid to send me the FDX file.
I wonder why.
Yet he scans and has someone hand type 120 pages on my pencil rewrites. They've watched me be hired as a writer and paid a significant fee for it, but on the condition that I never asked for credit, which I could give about. It was more the principle of the dynamic at play. They watched the other side of it too when I'm told a signing on that I wanted as a true collaborator, but once we get to the work, I'm really just wanted as a yes man audience and actor. Both Ryan and Taylor have established themselves as absolute titans as writers and storytellers outside of their primary gig, just singing or just acting or Taylor just directing. I'm so lucky to have them as creative barometers, but also but also to have them as the people who prop me up and make sure I'm seen from all I can do and offer, because they know firsthand all I contribute. They also know I'm not always as good at making sure I'm seen and utilize the fear of threatening egos or fear of affecting the ease of the process. They don't give a about that, and because of that, everyone listens to them with immense respect and enthusiasm. So I guess I have to stop worrying about people liking me.
She's just like,
She
I'm trying to
basically
get on the level
said,
of Taylor and Ryan.
I want to be on the level of Taylor and Ryan, so I don't care if I have to step on you to do that. That's all that text message told me. And I feel for Ryan, because you can see there's a lot of like text evidence. In her CRD complaint, you can very much see, and they point out the cherry-picked moments, and it had a lot to do with the whole PR team, but even that whole storyline is a complete mess. But let me just kind of get to this final point that, and by the way, this is like from his attorney's perspective. These are all like, for the most part, a lot of allegations aside from the text proof. But on this final kind of conclusion portion, it kind of gives, they explain why they believe Blake Lively decided to take over the project. And I actually agree with their interpretation of the events. So, okay, it was right here. In the end, I'm going to start, I just think it was a really well-written thing. Okay, so it asks, but why would Lively even seek to seize power over the film? Why would she insist on taking on additional work for no additional pay or credit? On information and belief, and that's just allegedly. Lively may have been motivated by a number of factors. She may have wanted to seize control over the film so that she could take over the production of the sequel, It Starts With Us. The motivation also explains why the cast, who may have hoped or have been promised a role in the subsequent productions, would choose her side, the more powerful couple, over Baldoni and that. Or Lively may have felt driven to match her star husband, Ryan Reynolds, who is widely reported to have insisted on taking so much control over the film Deadpool 2 that had director Tim Miller left the production. So it's like, I think that she saw, this is a movie that already has a built-in audience, that we know people are gonna wanna watch it. There's a director that hasn't really done great projects. I can easily topple over him and then slowly like get my way. And I really think that, yeah, she wanted to grab the project. She couldn't actually get it because he owns the rights to it. But Baldoni still owns the rights to the sequel. He owns the rights to the whole thing. So I don't think he's gonna just easily give it up. I think that's why she wanted to destroy his reputation. Mind you, these are all allegations, but it's just like, you shot yourself in the foot, dude.
Yeah.
By being so overconfident, it's just like, you're ridiculous. She's just like, oh my God, she's so irritating. And I'm just like irritated based on the text messages that I saw from herself. So it's a really, if you all just want a fun read, it's like actually, it's more understandable than the Vanity Fair article they wrote about Meghan and Harry. Like, this is such a, it took me 2 days to read it, but it's very fascinating. Like, it's just crazy. This was so much drama, and I loved every second of it. So I'm happy to have done this work for you guys.
How many pages was it?
It was like 120 pages.
And as of now, there's no response to the judge on placing that gag order on Justin Baldoni's lawyer.
But also, there is kind of a new development as well that not allegedly, but Page Six reviewed court documents that said that Justin Baldoni's attorney, who's covering this case, actually sued Baldoni because he was representing a person who alleged that Baldoni had stolen the idea for 5 feet apart, like that movie, the script idea that he had stolen. So I don't know, but it's fascinating. I love reading court documents. So.
That's interesting. That's a great lawyer. Like.
No, and I love it because the little like Cliff Notes sections, it's just like him making extra jabs at everything, and I just think it's so funny. Like, it was such a, I really didn't even have to look up a lot of words. Like, it was so like understandable. I'm like, Vanity Fair, this attorney can make a court document interesting. Why can't you make your article interesting? So,
but yeah, and of course it's gonna be an ongoing story that we're gonna be on it. I just wanted to go to court and live stream it, please.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, based on all the evidence they have, I don't think that she has a fighting chance. Also, people allege that she may have had a crush on him, and he, instantly was just kind of like,
like cut, and it's like,
Yeah. Also, Ryan Reynolds just seems like I don't want to use the word.
okay, he looked really bad the other day. He was on for that award.
He seems like a nightmare. So in one of the instances, they explained that the Baldoni, some executives from Sony and Wayfair had a meeting with Lively. This had to do with the whole 17-page agreement that they signed. So during the meeting, apparently Ryan Reynolds berated Baldoni so badly that some of the Sony execs, when they were leaving, were like, I have never in my 40 years have seen anybody speak to a person like that in my life. Like, the entitlement of these people, that's what bugs me. It's like they think that they deserve all of this. Like, you don't deserve it. Be a good person. Damn. Sorry. It was really infuriating to read all that stuff. And how she tried to get producer credit. She literally just took over that film, and that man was like, I can't even see a cut. Like, I felt bad for, like, the whole production team who worked on it. I mean, working 5 years towards something that just got taken away from you, like, and marketed in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just crazy to me that she never signed anything.
She never signed anything, which is insane. And then also the nudity, there's this thing called nudity rider, which is like an agreement you sign that I think kind of establishes what boundaries you want in place for sex scenes. She didn't even sign that.
Oh, then she can't really complain that. Of her allegations of like he was adding, she alleges that he was adding unscripted stuff in there to from a script that she didn't agree to. Well, you never signed anything. You never agreed to anything. Interesting. Well, we'll be following along, as I just mentioned. But just to quickly recap something.
Yes. We are going to be watching Traitors. So if you watch Traitors, we're going to be recapping that this season because Yoselin's all caught up.
Yes.
With season. So we're in season 3, episode 3.
4 came out this week. 4 we have not watched.
No. So we're recapping episode 3. In this episode, I believe it's the first time they kind of really have Boston Rob as a traitor. All the traitors right now are Danielle, Bob the drag queen, and who's the other traitor?
Caroline.
Oh yeah, Caroline is so useless. And then we have now Boston Rob as the traitor. What do you think of Boston Rob as the addition to that?
So if you know me, I love Survivor. So I love Boston Rob and like how like smart, crazy, ruthless. Like I even question his move now, like against Bob, because it's like, is it too early? Like you just alienated your 2 other traitors. Like they think they're next. If they say the wrong thing to you, it's not like Survivor because you can't jump from alliance to alliance because at the end of the day, you are a traitor. So I like him. I love Wes. Anyone from like The Challenge. I don't really watch Big Brother, so I didn't know who that third Derek was. I do think that Danielle overplays it too much when she cries.
I can't stand Danielle.
And she's always wearing business casual.
Honestly, like I think Bob the drag queen is great. I can't stand him as a traitor. He was just frustrating me so much. It's just like, just because you're the loudest person in the room doesn't mean like, that's his tactic. I'm gonna be the loudest. I'm gonna tell you what I think. That means that I'm not a traitor. Like, it's just so ridiculous. He was just infuriating me from the beginning of him being a traitor, but I think I can't stand any of the traitors except Boston Rob because I feel like he understands the mission. He understands the purpose of this, while the rest of them, Caroline is just kind of like,
it's so funny because Caroline, I believed, won her season of Survivor, but she is like, she's out there. Like, she's just like, oh.
And I think that's why people will never like pick because it's just like, you're just kind of like all over the place. Danielle, people are starting to catch on to Danielle, and I'm like, please, like, just get her off the boat. It's actually crazy how fast they found a traitor, but then again, Boston Rob basically like threw it out into the wolves.
Wes, after the thing was like, who is the only person that would know who is a traitor 100%? A traitor,
absolutely. And I'm like, okay, Boston Rob, sorry, you're probably going to be next because you were too obvious about how like, no one suspected Bob the drag queen. Like, where did this, like, revelation all of a sudden come from?
I will say Dylan Efron, like, he was on it, but he's too naive and too, like, that Rob is just gonna...
He's just giving Peter 2.0.
Oh my God, that's what
I like Dylan Efron. I feel like... And you kind of hate the people who are catching on because you want to continue to see the traitors. But I want to see different traitors kind of circling in there.
I think so. I do like, now that I watched season 1, 2, and 3, even though 1 was like whatever compared to 2 and 3, I like that I know the progression of the rules.
Yeah.
And I like where it's going.
No, I love Traitors. I think this season is going to be really good. So far, I really love seeing Gabby Windy. I think she's so funny. I can't really think of who else is on the...
I can't believe they thought Nikki Bella was a traitor.
Oh, I know.
And I'm like, guys, she's...
But I love what Gabby said, like, regardless if she's a traitor, she's still my friend, so I'm not going to vote her out.
Yeah, it's very like... Oh, okay.
So I'm really excited to see if they're actually going to go after Boston Rob. I feel like they probably might play it safe, but I don't know. I feel like if I was on Traitors, I think I would be very good at, like, picking up on things. Like, Danielle, I'm like, this chick has no reason to be crying every single time. Like, you're just doing too much. Like, really,
I would definitely vote off people that I found annoying. I'm like, whatever. If they're not a traitor, at least they're gone.
The fact that Tom Sandoval is still there, I'm like, why was he not the first one off the boat?
He's so dramatic, dude. Like, when they did the coffin thing, and everyone's like, we're leaving them here out. He's like, go, Tom. But I love the host, Alan.
Oh yeah, I love Alan Cummings. He's so perfect.
He actually, the only thing I know he's been in other things, but the only thing he really pops is Spy Kids, and he was the villain in that, and he kind of freaks me out.
He also came out in Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion.
Oh yeah, but I think I watched that twice in my life.
He's come out in a bunch of things.
Yeah, no, he's like a well-versed
He's a
actor,
really good
but the only thing I've
actor.
ever seen is Spy Kids, and he was weird in that movie.
Yeah, but I just like love his style. I love seeing their outfits.
I heard you
every
like
time.
Fergus.
I love Ferguson. Yeah, I forget what the challenges were this past week. I forget what the
Was it the clown one?
No, that was, I think, the episode prior. I don't know. Like I said, those challenges I could personally never do. Oh no, it's when they had to carry all that heavy stuff up the mountain.
The head.
Oh my gosh, I would. What would you have gone for, the head or the body?
I would have to do the head first because if you put up a body first,
The head's gonna automatically.
someone's head is gonna put there. But if you take your head and then bring a body, you can control what.
Yeah.
You can safeguard your body.
But that looks like.
I was like
painful.
actually crying for Bob H.
Oh yeah, I felt so bad for him. I love Bob H. I really want him to last for a long time.
Yeah.
I think that he's like well enough to be like kind of like.
Is there anyone that you like last season? It was like who was it? Like that person's like 100% a faithful, like no doubts about it. Who was it that everyone's like, no, he's a faithful?
I forgot.
I guess like season 1 it was Andy. Everyone knew she was a faithful, or they were faithful. And then season 2, everyone knew. I guess Trishelle. Everyone just never really questioned her.
I'm trying to think. It's because I forget it's so many people. You kind of just forget who all these people are.
And it's a lot of people, but 2 people are being killed off per episode, so it goes by fast.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so
we'll keep up with Traitors, and we hope you do
That's
as well.
on
It's on
Peacock.
NBC Peacock. They come out with episodes every Thursday, so we'll be watching that new episode this weekend.
Absolutely.
But I think that's all our time.
Yeah, it is. We
very
talked a
much
lot.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.